This is page 98 of your math journal. We're going to call it volume of rectangular prisms. Alright, first you need to know what a prism is. Okay, a prism is a three-dimensional object. So I'm just putting 3D. A three-dimensional object with rectangular let's just say with rectangle sides. (3D) object with rectangle sides connecting the bases. Okay, the base is the basic shape. Okay, another thing that we need to know is what volume is. Volume is the amount of space an object takes up. The amount of, let's put 3D space, so three-dimensional space an object takes up. So when you have a rectangular prism has a rectangle for a base and rectangle sides. So really all the sides are rectangles. Okay, you'll have other shapes like triangular prisms or pentagonal prisms. They all have a basic shape of those things, but they all will have rectangles on the sides for faces. So I want you to memorize the volume of a prism song. Volume of a prism. This works for any prism. So volume of a prism. And I want you to put it to row, row, row your boat. Okay, so let's write out the words first and then I'll sing it. Volume of a prism. Find the basic shape. Find the area of that base. Then times it by the height. Okay, so here's how it goes. Volume of a prism, find the basic shape. Find the area of that base and times it by the height. Just a way to help you remember it. Okay, so this works for all prisms. So I'm going to label this one prism number 1, prism number 2, and prism number 3. So when I refer to these, I'm referring to these shapes that you have glued in your notebook. So we have prism 1. Prism 1 is a rectangular prism. It has 2 rectangular bases and 4 rectangular sides. In this case, because they're all rectangles, it does not matter which one we choose to be the base. It doesn't always mean bottom, but usually easiest is to think of the bottom. It doesn't matter though. So the area of the base so volume equals the area of the base times the height. So looking back here at number 1, the base is a rectangle. It has a, how to find the area of a rectangle would be base times height. So here it'd be 11 times 5. So this right here is the area of the base, 5 times 11. Then I'm going to times it by how tall it is from this base to this base. That would be 6. So volume here, 5 times 11 is 55. And then 55 times 6, I'm not sure what that is in my head. 6 times 5 is 30. Regroup 3. 6 times 5 is 30 plus 3. So 330. So it's 300. The volume of Prism 1 is 330. Now, volume is 3-dimensional. So this is going to be cubed. So it would be centimeters cubed. Notice I put that 3 there. Okay, let's try the volume of Prism 2. I'm just going to split this space up. So this is going to be volume of Prism 2. Okay, this is fractions, but no big deal. We have the area of the base. So the base here, I'm just going to use the bottom one, is 3.5 times 2.5. So 3.5 times 2.5 times the height, which is 1.5. So because this is a rectangular prism, right here, this is the area of the base, and then times it by the height. So I'm going to take and turn these into improper fractions to make this easier on me. So this would be 7 over 2 times 5 over 2 times 3 over 2 times across the top. This right here would give me 35 over 4. I'm going to times that by 3 over 2. 35 times 3, I'm not sure what that is right now. So I'm going to do it over here. 35 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. Regroup 1. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. So this would give me 105 over 8. Now I want to reduce that, make it a mixed number. 8 goes into 105. I'm not sure how many times right this second. 8 goes into 10 one time, so minus 8 gives me 2. Bring down the 5. 8 goes into 25. 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. Minus 24 gives me 1. Since I'm dealing with fractions, I'm going to say 13 and 1/8 feet cubed is my volume. Okay, last one. We have decimals. Still no big deal. So this is going to be Prism 3. Okay, area of the base. We're missing a line here. This should be right here. This is 5. So if that's 5, then area of our base would be 13.5 times 5. Just writing it out right now. So volume equals 13.5 times 5. then times it by the height, times by 18.5. Okay, I'm going to do 13.5 times 5 over here first. 5 times 5 is 25. Regroup 2. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 2 is 17. Regroup 1. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 1 is 6. And there's one place behind the decimal. So this would be 67.5 times 18.5. Okay, now only because I'm starting to run out of room, I'm going to do it by calculator. But you know how to multiply decimal numbers. So 67.5 times 18.5 gives us 1,248.75 centimeters cubed. So the volume of the third prism is 1,248.75 centimeters cubed. That's how you find the volume of a rectangular prism.